My helicopter dad and mom have no idea I've been dating someone for almost 2 years, and I have no idea how to tell them. So, as the title states, my parents have no idea that I'm dating someone because of how ridiculous they've been about me dating in the past. Not only am I the oldest daughter, but I'm the only daughter in the family. I have 2 younger brothers that they are more relaxed with, but I am literally the scapegoat of the family. The last time they knew I dated someone was when I was 16, and they forced me to break up with him and banned me from seeing him because they found out we were sleeping together basically. They're very Catholic and don't believe in contraception, abortion, or fun time before marriage. They have told me that gay people are going to hell if they act on their feelings and choices, and that I'm going to hell if I have fun time before marriage. They also have no idea I'm bi, but that's not something I wish to discuss with them. I moved out almost 2 months ago, to a town 3 hours away from them for college. Every time I've dated someone in the past, they get ridiculously too involved. My mom already texts me every single day multiple times a day. She asks me my friends' names, where they work, what we talk about, what we do together, where I am, what my work schedule is, what I make for food every day. She asks for photos of where I am, etc. If I don't do it, she starts panicking, and she's threatened to call the cops to find out where I am if I don't respond to her. She gets incredibly suspicious if I take more than 5 minutes to respond to her, and it's so frustrating. But that's another issue. Every time I've dated someone, they've gone on the dates with me. They've made sure we're not kissing, cuddling, or doing anything too physical for them. I'm 20 now, S&D. I've dated many people since the last one they knew about. The last guy I dated, they forced me to only see him in their living room where they had supervision. I wasn't allowed to see him outside the house. We couldn't go in my room, the basement, or be too close to each other. We literally played board games with my family once a week for a year, before I finally snuck out, and we ended up engaging in fun time in the backseat of my car. They tracked my phone and found me with him and banned me from seeing him ever again. Granted, he was incredibly toxic. He was 19 and I was 16. It was predatory, and there were a lot of issues I didn't realize with him that my family never knew about either. The thing was, I did not ever want my family involved in a relationship of mine ever again because of this. They get too involved. They think they're entitled to this because they bought my car for me, and hence, this is my issue. Until I have my own car, they're going to continue to hold things over my head. I'm actually planning to move in with my current boyfriend at the end of this year, and I literally have no clue how to introduce him to my parents. They're still being controlling, overbearing, and crazy even after 2 months of me being gone. I guess my question is, how TF do I introduce someone who I'm literally planning to marry to my family when we've been dating for almost 2 years? His dad was also a narcissist, but when his parents divorced, he cut him completely out of his life. His mom has bipolar disorder and struggles a lot still too. He understands my situation and has been more than happy to stay out of my family because they tend to ruin every single one of my relationships. I'm not sure if I should make up a story about how we met recently, or if I should be honest and just straight up tell them that we've been dating for this long and that we're moving in together. They're going to most likely cut me out of the family if they find out I'm living with a boyfriend before marriage. My current boyfriend has even suggested a fake wedding so that my parents will chill TF out. And I'm grateful he's willing to bend over backwards like this, but I literally have no idea what to do here. Any advice is greatly appreciated. TLDR, I need advice on how to tell my family about my current boyfriend, who I've been dating secretly for almost 2 years. Let's go to the next story. Should I tell his pregnant wife? Honestly, I'm just really struggling with what to do, and could use some advice. I, 34F, met a man, 32M, on a chat site a couple months ago. After a couple days of chatting publicly in a chat room, and on cam, we exchanged Snapchats, at his request. It wasn't remotely romantic, at first. We just really seemed to really hit it off, sending video snaps back and forth, learning about each other's lives, etc. For context, I am American, and he is Australian, so the times we could chat were kind of weird. Mostly late afternoon to late evening for me, and early morning to late afternoon for him, basically his work hours. After a couple weeks, we were literally sending snaps back and forth for like 7 hours a day, every day. Despite living across the world from one another, we related on a lot. He told me 18 months ago a 11-year relationship he had ended, and a big factor in that was him and his fiancée having a miscarriage at 20-something weeks. This is something that really resonated with me as I had a miscarriage in my last relationship that resulted in a breakup. Plus, I had also been in an 11-year relationship. Aside from that, he was just the nicest, most caring guy I had ever spoken to. I felt so seen, listened to, and respected. He was constantly telling me how in awe he was of my beauty, passion, and intelligence, and things started to get kind of romantic, and ultimately sexual. There were videos and pictures, and the whole shebang. However, it was not at all just sexually driven. He was super respectful of me, and constantly told me how he didn't just want something sexual with me, how he wished he could just come home to me every day, how special he thought I was, and that the more he gets to know me, the more he likes me. A month in, and we were sharing what I thought was every detail of our lives with each other. We talked about past traumas, we would snap with our friends and family around, which he told me they all knew about me, and he was telling me how he was looking into tickets to America, which he said are pretty expensive, but you're worth it. He was going so far as to say things like, I really, really like you. I'm legitimately falling for you. I want to tell you that other word, but I'll refrain. I want you in my life, like forever. I haven't felt like this about someone in a really long time. You make me so happy, and I just want to make you feel so special. The worst part of my day is when I leave work and have to go home to a house alone, and then you're asleep and I can't talk to you. Anyway, there were always a few things I found strange about him. He told me he hates technology and using his phone, so in weekends he chooses to just be out in nature with his mates, and doesn't check it much. He also told me that due to him losing his son, he deleted all social media. I also had asked him his last name, but a Google search of him turned up literally nothing. Well, yesterday morning, I decided to go super internet sleuth to try to find a trace of this man on the internet. He wears shirts to his job that have the name of the company on it, so I googled that, his first name and his city, and lo and behold, a LinkedIn came up. But the last name was different. From there, I found an Instagram and a Facebook, with pictures of a wedding from January 2021. This man told me he was engaged, but never married. I sent him a message once again asking him to confirm the fake last name he gave me, and he assured me that was him. That's when I confronted him and said that I know he's lying, but I didn't specify about what. This man crumbled like a house of cards. He told me he's married and his wife is pregnant. He said he's been lying to me and her. He said he's a piece of shit, etc. He was freaking out about the possibility I might ruin his life and maybe I was already calling his wife. He asked me not to involve her. I didn't reply. At all. Within an hour, he had deleted his Snapchat completely, our only means of communication. I'm assuming he thought this would delete all evidence. What he didn't know is that I recorded myself on webcam opening all of his snaps yesterday. This includes the first ones too, before he knew that I knew, where he literally starts by saying welcome to the best part of my day, when I get to talk to you all day long. And of course it includes his confession. Should I tell his wife? My friends are torn. I don't want to hurt a pregnant woman who will likely be blindsided. They've been together 12 years, but I have to imagine he will keep doing this. And the level of emotional cheating is pretty severe. I mean, this guy would walk me around his house, their house, and say things like, yeah, I was originally building this house for my family to live in, but obviously that didn't work out. You can be the first one to use my bathtub. I mean, I think he's the absolute scum of the earth, and I hate him for what he's done to me. False hope after divulging to him my past heartbreaks/traumas, but what he's done to her is so much worse. Edit, sorry, I wanted to add that it isn't confirmed his wife is pregnant. My best friend and sister both separately mentioned that he could have lied about this to keep me from telling her. Edit 2, just wanted to clarify that 99.9% of our snaps were all video, not text. So, when I say he snapped with friends and family around, I mean they were in the videos, and he was like telling them to say hi. No idea who they must have thought he was snapping, but I know they heard my American accent. Also, because this was apparently confusing, I found out the other morning that he had been lying, before he was awake. By the time he woke up, I had not sent him any accusatory messages, just one asking him to confirm his last name, so he wasn't suspicious at first, and his first messages to me of the day were his usual incredibly happy/sweet self. Knowing he lied, and realizing I had no proof, I turned on my webcam to open all of these snaps and try to capture how he spoke to me in case I needed proof, not yet knowing if he even was still married or whatever. Just wanted to update everyone. I reached out to his wife via Instagram. This was my initial message to her. "Hi, I understand this is a complicated situation and I truly have no intentions to hurt you. I've just felt like if it were me I'd want to know, but I don't want to force that on you, just give you the option if you want to take it. Your husband has been talking to me extensively for over a month, for many hours a day, claiming to be single. He's shown me your home and claiming he lives alone. He has been very emotional and also sexual. I also know there have been other girls before me. I only discovered a couple days ago he had been lying to me extensively. I do have proof, if you want it. He does not know about videos I have. He deleted Snapchat very quickly after coming clean to me. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer them. Literally anything. I can go into detail if you want. He specifically asked me not to contact you, which leads me to believe you'd probably want to know." She responded incredibly kindly, thanked me, and asked for the proof. I sent her everything I had. She told me this is unfortunately not the first time. She asked for specific details and I gave them to her. She seems like the absolute sweetest, sad face. I hope she gets away from this psycho. Thank you everyone for your advice on my original post. Reaching out was the right thing to do, love.